Well, I know this, and anyone who's ever tried to live knows this. So what you say about somebody else, anybody else, reveals you. What I think of you as being is dictated by my own necessities, my own psychology, my own fears and desires. I'm not describing you when I talk about you. I'm describing me. Now here in this country we've got something called a nigger. It doesn't in such terms, I beg you to remark, exist in any other country in the world. We have invented the nigger. I didn't invent him. White people invented him. I've always known, I had to know by the time I was 17 years old, what you were describing was not me, and what you were afraid of was not me. It had to be something else. You had invented it, so it had to be something you were afraid of, and you invested me with it. Now, if that's so, no matter what you've done to me, I can say to you this, and I mean it. I know you can't do any more, and I've got nothing to lose. And I know, and I've always known, and really always, that's part of the agony. I've always known that I'm not a nigger. But if I am not the nigger, and if it's true that your invention reveals you, then who is the nigger? I'm not the victim here. I know one thing from another. And I know I'm going to born and I'm going to be, I was born, I'm going to suffer, and I'm going to die. And the only way you get through life is to know the worst things about it. I know that a person is more important than anything else. Anything else. I learned this because I've had to learn it. But you still think, I gather, that the nigger is necessary. Well, he's unnecessary to me, so he must be necessary to you. So I give you your problem back. You're the nigger, baby, it isn't me.
I love that guy, James Baldwin. Genius. This is what I realized. I had a conversation with my friend the other day, and me and fuckery. We were talking to a friend of ours, a white friend, and they were like, why can't I say this word? Why can't I say nigga? My friends call me it all the time. And I asked them a question I don't think anybody ever cared to ask. I've never really heard anybody ask it. The question was, do you know the difference? Do you know the difference between nigger and nigga? And I looked in their eyes and they didn't. They said they didn't, but looked in her eyes as she had that internal micro conversation and seen the look of trying to make sense of of that. It wasn't there. I don't think, and it's not like somebody sat down with white people and said, this is why we use the word and why it's different. They just said, we're using this. It's our word. It's our word now. And that doesn't make sense to them. It's the same word. That's when I realized, to them, there is no difference. To the regular white people. Like, genuinely not trying to hurt or harm anything, but want to know. And we mistake that curiosity as some kind of prejudice. They want to know. When I seen them in their eyes looking for an answer, like, no. Because think about it. You take a word, you take nigger, and you drop off the ER and you add an A. That's still nigger to them. And maybe to us. It doesn't make sense. It's as if we were gonna recreate another word by chopping one word in half and adding whatever we wanted to the remainder of that word and saying, we're gonna use this now and we're gonna start doing that. And that's what's gonna go on from here on out. We're going to redefine this. And no, you don't need a reason why. It's like if they started calling themselves Cracker. What up, Cracker? You'd be like, what are y'all talking about? This is... Why do you keep calling each other that? No, this is Cracker. This is our word. You don't worry about it. But that's the same word. No, it's not. We redefined it, and we're cool with this. You can't say it, though. Oh, so I can't say Cracker? No, because before it was a derogatory term, and we made it to where we can use it, and it doesn't make us feel bad. And y'all can't say it, though. It's our word. We made it up. Okay, so you get to take a word that was used to intentionally harm someone, break it down, and then label the definition as something else. And you're okay with that. Yeah, it makes you wonder if the word was bad to begin with. Because if it was that bad, then one would be thinking, I may want to do away with that word. I may not want to redefine it. I may not want to break it down to anything else. I may want to get rid of it because I don't like how it makes me feel. So that's the thing we have to consider. Who sits down and tells these people, the ones that want to listen and are curious, hey, this is why this is bad. This is why we probably shouldn't be saying it. But we say it anyways. I say it because it resonates with people. And in order to raise anything, you have to get on its level first. And then you can change it. So you affect more people, at least from us, and in my standpoint, with that into something else. I think people identify nigga as a race now. People, person, niggas. We say it so much, it's a race. We've redefined it into a race. And nobody said that, but that's what we're acting as. We're acting like it's a race. Going your job, trying to get a job, fill out an application, black, white, mixed niggas. Might as well put niggas on the application because we're using the word nonstop. It's flowing like water, baby. It's crazy. So I think that we should even define it for ourselves and say, hey, is this something that's conducive to the progressiveness of my soul? Does this make sense? Because we're doing things and we're not thinking why we're doing it. We're just doing it because we're used to it. The pattern. So who needs to do what? Are we using something we're not supposed to be using? Are we not explaining why we need to use this? Or are we just all fucked up, just doing some fuck shit and just taking a word that was bad to begin with and saying, I'm going to use this regardless of whatever. And whoever created it, who gives a fuck? It's mine. There comes a freedom of saying whatever you want. But why do you get to say whatever you want? And what cost does that have on you and the people around you and the environment that you're involving yourself in? So there's another conversation that needs to take place with no emotions involved. None. Simply on the progressiveness of semantics. Why are we using these particular terms? What is the ideology behind it? And is it making sense to me in my life? And that's not anything to where it's a good or bad thing. It does not have to be put in that context. Is it progressive? What you want to do. If you want to be a fucking racist and you want to fucking hate people and you want to whatever, and that makes sense to you and that's why you're using it, then you can do whatever the fuck you want. If you want to use it because you feel you have the right to, you can do anything you want, you can do that too. Where is it getting you? That's at the end of the day, the question. What is it doing for you? Nigga.